So just to start in a standing position, we're just going to kind of move our feet a little bit before we come down to the ground. So start by finding just a nice even stance, feet maybe hip or shoulder distance apart, and then just give a second, let your knees be soft, let your hips be soft, and just kind of feel the weight of your body down into your feet. Shoulders soft, arms soft and heavy. And if it helps you to come there, close your eyes down so you can just tune in, pay attention, and notice the weight of your body sinking down into your feet. And then as you notice that weight of your body sinking down into your feet, now do you feel like you could lift up and away from your feet? So you lighten up that position, lift up through the tops of your legs, up through the crown of your head, and then just draw that energy lightly upward towards the sky, and then tune back into your feet and notice how your feet feel here. Awesome. And then eyes open or closed, totally up to you. Just start to find a gentle sway side to side. Transferring your weight to the left and to the right, but then just kind of noticing the outer edges of your ankles if you can. So just kind of tune in down there, get a sense of that gentle bit of movement that happens right at the outer edges of your ankles as you move gently side to side. Keep that sway going, but now can you notice that little bit of transfer of weight that happens from the big toe to the pinky toe? One more little sway side to side, and then bring it back to center. Just pause for a moment. Let your weight sink heavy down into your feet again. Soft knees, soft hips, soft arms. And then here in the softer position, just bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Take a moment to just notice your breath. And then before we move away from this place, set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. Awesome. And then with that intention set, let your hands come down at your sides. And we're just going to start some light little shirt sleeve twists. You're just going to let your hands lightly tap against the back of your body and your hips. And then see if you can let your feet move with you in sort of a natural way that you sway your hips, you sway your arms, and see how your feet move with you. Beautiful. One more little tap side to side, and then you're going to shift your weight over to your right foot. Keep your left big toe in the ground, but now just take your ankle, draw it in a couple of circles, go in one direction. Nice, big, generous movements, or just as much as your ankle moves freely. And then take those circles and draw them the other way. Awesome. And then set that foot down, transfer your weight over to the other foot. Pick your heel up, big toe stays on the ground, and we're just going to draw some big, generous circles. Go in one direction. And then take those circles and draw them the other way. Nice. And then set that foot down. And then we're going to come down to a seated position, crisscross applesauce if you like, Sukhasana if you like your yoga words. But we're going to come down to a comfortable seated position. So come down in any way that works good for you. And then as you come to that cross-leg position or whatever kind of seat works good, then let your awareness come right back down to your feet and see, can you let your feet get soft and heavy? Relax your ankles, relax your toes. If it feels good to do so, close your eyes down and just take a moment to find your settling in position in your seat. Take one more quiet little moment here and then see if you can sink into your sits bones just so you feel that anchoring position of your butt connected to the floor, and then lift up through the spine, that same lifting up or lightness sensation that we found in that standing position. So just reach up through the crown of your head, let your shoulders soften down, and then we're going to move into the head and the neck here. As you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. Exhale and tuck your chin down to your chest. Inhale to lift your chin up. Exhale to tuck your chin down. On this next inhale, lift and hold, just taking a gentle stretch through the front of the neck and the throat, but make sure it's a comfortable position so you could swallow and you're not efforting too much here. Take an inhale, and then on your next exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest, stay here. Let your head get nice and heavy. Notice the back of your neck, notice your shoulders. And then keeping this slightly downward position, we're just going to start to roll the head gently side to side. So think like you're rolling your chin across your chest, and then start to increase that range of motion just as your neck starts to warm up a little bit. Nice. One more little roll of the head side to side. And then as your chin tucks back down to your chest, see if you can just draw your shoulders slightly down and back. And then with a little bit of idea of strength, lift your chin up to a neutral position. And now we're going to turn the head, look over your left shoulder, but think of this as more of a strengthening maneuver. So you might feel a little efforting in the muscles in your neck. Hold it there for one moment. And then release back to center. We're going to turn the head the other way. So look over your right shoulder, but feel that nice little bit of muscle engagement there. Nice. And then bring your head back to center, move right into a seated cat-cow. As you inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale and round your back. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. One more time here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round, and then find a neutral spine, but release your hands behind the back with nice tall fingers. Squeeze a little between the shoulder blades, open up through the chest and the collarbones, lift your chin, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then we're going to take the right hand and find that little space right underneath your collarbone. So locate your collarbone. I said right hand and then I did, I'm mirroring you. So take your right hand, reach across, and then you're going to find that little space underneath your collarbones and just push in just lightly and then draw a couple of circles. Go in one direction. Draw a couple of circles, go the other way. Awesome. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So reach your hand across, find your collarbone, and then down into that little groove underneath the collarbone. Press in gently, draw some circles in one direction. And then draw some circles, go the other way. Nice. And then release that hand. We're going to take our light piano fingers and just tap lightly up and down the chest. So think down to the breastbone and then up to the collarbones. And just for a moment here, if it feels available, close your eyes down and then listen back in. Notice that nice little gentle thumping. Notice that gentle vibration in your breath. Awesome. One more little light tap up and down, and then release your hands behind you. Lean back into your sits bones, swing your legs out, and then just take a couple of windshield wipers with the knees. Awesome. One more little windshield wiper each side, and then send your legs just a little bit longer. So still a super generous bend the knees and think ragdoll fold. So we're going to lift the belly up and over, reach down towards your toes. Make a little space for yourself here. So there's plenty of space for your belly, for your chest, and then just let everything rest against the thighs. Soften through the back of the body, soften through the back of your neck, and take a nice big breath. Take one more breath here. And then we'll come up nice and slow. We're going to leave the left leg out nice and long, but we're going to grab hold of the back of the right leg. Make a little basket weave so that your hands can do the heavy lifting here. And then just take a couple of kicks of the leg. So you feel the weight of your thigh into your hands, but then you feel a little bit of work happening through the quadriceps to help lift and lower the leg. Nice. One more lift and lower that leg. And then we're going to set it down, switch to the other side. Grab the back of the thigh. Let your hands do the heavy lifting here, and then let your quadriceps do the work of just kicking the leg up and down. Nice. One more little kick of the leg up and down, and then both legs extended out in front of you, but with a soft bend in the knees. Reach your arms up and overhead, and then again, think belly up and over. Exhale, reach towards your feet. We're not going to stay there. We're going to drag the hands across the floor, pull it all back up and up, in, and then reach the arms up again. Lift up, bend your knees. Exhale, reach toward your toes. Does not matter if you touch your toes. Drag your hands on the floor. Roll it all up and in. One more time here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale and fold. Drag your fingers, pull it all up and in, and then step your feet in, scoot your butt towards your heels, roll your way down to the ground. Nice and slow. Take your time as you come down. And then once you found your way down to the ground, step your feet to a wider position and then start to find some windshield wipers. Let your arms just come out, maybe anatomical position, so they're just resting comfortably out at your side. The next time your knees drop over to the right, let them sink all the way down. Let them get nice and heavy. Notice the front of your left hip, or notice where your front left pocket would be, and just see if you can let your left knee get a little softer, a little heavier. Take one more breath here. Awesome. And then on your next inhale, lift your knees to center, drop your knees over to the left, let them sink down. And then see if you can tune in and notice that front of your right hip, or where your front right pocket would be. On your next inhale, lift your knees back up to center, and then we're just going to let the knees drop in towards each other. So coming into constructive rest with the legs. Now bring your arms into your I Dream of Jeannie arms, or that little square across the chest, catching hold of your elbows, and then just start to pull your elbows gently side to side. As you pull your elbows side to side and you get a little bit of a rhythm here, let your awareness come back down to your feet and notice, did you start to crunch up your toes or pick up any tension in your feet to help support even this little bit of movement? And if so, lift your toes, spread your toes, relax your toes back down to the ground, but we're keeping those elbows drawing across the midline of the body. Beautiful. One more pull side to side in this middle position, and then we're going to start to take those elbows, pulling them side to side, but take them up and down. So you're going to pull side to side as you go up towards your forehead, and then pull side to side as you go down towards your belly button. Pull side to side, move up towards your forehead. Pull side to side, move down towards the belly button. One more time with that pattern. Pull side to side, move up towards your forehead. Pull side to side, move down towards your belly button. And then as you come back up to center, release your arms, come into cactus arms or goalpost arms. Take a second to rearrange your shoulder blades so that they feel pretty comfortable on the ground. And then find a gentle turn of the head side to side. The next time your head turns to the right, turn it just as far as it will go. Pause there, take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Return your head to center. Reset anything that you need to, and then when you feel ready, turn your head to the left just as far as it will go. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, return your head to center, and then let your arms come back to an anatomical position. So just let them find a comfortable position out at the side of your body. Toe heel your feet in now. So feet are about hip width distance apart, and separate your knees. So you get that little bit of space between your knees. And then we're just going to focus on bringing just an awareness to the abdomen and the belly button. So can you imagine that somebody's coming in for a little tickle? So their hands are coming in toward your belly. Pull your belly down, find a little bit of firmness, and then release. And then can you do that again? Pull the belly in, just find a little bit of firmness, and then release. And then do that one more time. Pull the belly in, find a little bit of firmness, and then release. Nice. And then move into a pelvic tilt. Exhale, press your low back into the ground. Inhale, release to the natural curve of your back. Exhale, press your low back down. Notice your toes. Are you picking up tension in your toes or your feet? Return to the natural curve of your back. One more time with soft feet. Press your low back into the ground. Release to the natural curve of your back. Pull your right knee into your chest. Take that knee, draw it in circles, go in one direction. Take that knee, draw it in circles, go the other way. Awesome. And then we're going to hold on to the right knee with the right hand, hold on to the right heel with the left hand, and then externally rotate and then bring it back in. Externally rotate and bring it back in. Externally rotate, bring it back in. And now we're going to take that leg into your figure 4 across the top of the left thigh. Right hand to the right inner thigh. Gently push into the inner thigh, just so you find a little opening. You might feel a little sensation in the outer edge of your hip down into your side of your glutes. Notice where you feel sensation. You might even feel a sensation up in that hip crease or up in your groin. So take a moment to just notice where in your body do you feel sensation. And hopefully it's a good sensation, no sharp or shooting pain. Take one more breath. Release your hand from the inner thigh, hands down to the ground, and then hands free. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale and float your left leg down. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, float your left leg down. On this last one, just tune in and notice that little engagement that happens in your abdomen as you lift the left leg up. Lower it down. Awesome. Pause for a moment and then grab hold of the heel, grab hold of the leg, gently lift it off, set it down, pause for a moment and notice. And then when you feel ready, pull the left knee into your chest, get a light handhold, draw that knee in circles, go in one direction. Draw that knee in circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then left hand's going to hold the knee, right hand's going to hold the heel, externally rotate and bring it back in. Externally rotate and bring it back in. Externally rotate, bring it back in, and then we'll externally rotate, bring it into your figure 4. Left hand to the inner thigh, gently push the knee open just to a point that feels like a good sensation for you, and then take a moment to notice where in your body do you feel the most sensation. Release your hand from the inner thigh, hands free. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, float your right foot back down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower down. Pause there. Take a moment, notice. And then gently help that leg come off. Set it down. Notice both feet on the ground. Relax your toes. Relax the tops of your feet. Relax your hands. We're going to take one bridge pose here. So feet about hip width distance apart, heels fairly close to the butt. Feel your feet first. So press firmly into the bottoms of your feet, then press into the backs of the arms, press into the backs of the shoulders. And then with that nice little pressing sensation, lift your hips up. Lift up through the backs of the legs, through your glutes, and imagine you're reaching your knees towards your toes. And then slowly, gently, mindfully roll down through your spine. So think upper back, middle back, low back. Once your hips touch down, pull both knees up into your chest. Give yourself a light little squeeze, a gentle rock side to side. And then we're going to hold on to the right knee and left leg is going to extend nice and long. We're going to take it into a supine twist. So we're going to take that right knee over and across the body, go as far as feels right to you. And then if it feels good, you're going to let your right arm reach out, turn your head to the right, and then take a few moments to come back to your breath here. Take a nice, generous inhale and allow a little softness to come in with your exhale. We'll be here for about 2 more cycles of breath, but can you let your awareness come down to your feet? Did you pick up tension in your feet or your toes? And if so, can you let your feet soften? Take one more breath. Awesome. And then when you're ready, pull the right knee back into your chest, pull your left knee into meet. Take a gentle rock side to side. And then when you're ready, hold on to your left knee, send your right leg nice and long. Supine twist to the other side. So take that left knee over and across the body. Let your left arm open out nice and wide. Maybe turn your head to the left if that feels good. And then just take a moment here to come back to your breath. Gentle inhale, soften with your exhale. Take a moment to notice your feet and your toes. If you picked up any tension in your feet or your toes, let them soften. And then when you feel ready, pull the left knee into your chest, bring your right knee into meet. And then we're making butterflies with our knees. So we're going to start to circle the knees out and away from each other, draw them into the chest, push them out and away from each other up towards the ceiling and pull them back in. And then just find a nice little rhythm here, a fluid movement in the hips. One more circle around in this direction. And then when you feel ready, reverse directions, take your circles and go the other way. Nice. One more circle around in this direction. And then pull the knees in with a tight little squeeze. Lift your chin up, bring your nose toward your knees. So there's this little rounding of the body. Take a moment just to notice that little compression of your breath. So your belly is pressing against the thighs. There's a little efforting in your head and your neck. You might even feel the muscles in the front of your neck working a little bit here. Take one more moment. And then when you're ready, slowly release. Release your head down. Release your feet down to the ground. Take a second to notice. And then if you're going to use any props for your Shavasana, take a second to find them, but we're going to do a little work with our legs nice and long. So walk your feet down to the end of your mat, but instead of letting them be in a relaxed position, almost imagine that you're standing on your mat. So feet are in a slightly flexed position, feet about hip width distance apart, and your toes and your knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. And then push the backs of your arms into your mat or into the floor. So you feel the back of your body kind of fire up. And then as you push your heels down, legs are slightly active, push your arms down so that the front of your body is slightly active. And then just take a moment in this slightly active position to notice. Notice the spaces in the back of your body that are not touching the floor. So you might notice maybe the backs of your knees, that little curve of your ankles, parts of the back of your calf, the back of your neck. You might notice that slight lift in the curve of your low back. Take one more moment to notice those spaces. And then let everything soften. Let everything relax. Let your feet fall out. Let your arms find a soft and natural position. And then just take a moment here to notice. Relax your feet. Soften your belly. Notice your body. And then can you notice the physical action of breath in your body here? And then as you move your awareness away from the breath, just take a moment to notice your physical body and then ask yourself, where would be your best Shavasana? Would it feel good to take it into a little bit of softer position just as you are? Would it feel good to come back to constructive rest, which can be a little bit more supportive to the low back? Do you need a little action for your hips? Do you want to take it into a reclined cobbler's pose? And preferably you would tuck some pillows or blankets around your thighs so it's a nice supported position. Whatever variation or position of the body feels right, take a second to find your way there and then invite a little bit of softness in. As you start to find that softer position of the body, notice your feet, notice your toes. If you're holding any last bits of tension in your toes or your feet, can you let them soften? Keeping your eyes closed if you can. Start to become aware of the floor beneath you. Get a sense of the spaciousness above you. Notice the physical movement of breath in your body. And then before you start to move anything, can you just tune in and notice the sounds around you? And then when you feel ready, gently start to wake up your fingers, gently start to wake up your toes, maybe move your head a little side to side, just inviting some small, gentle, mindful movements in, noticing how your body feels. And then when you feel ready, invite some bigger movements in, maybe move your wrists, move your ankles. If your legs are in that bent knee position, maybe take a moment to walk your feet nice and long towards the end of your mat and take it into a good morning stretch if that feels good. Reach your arms up and overhead, and then just take that nice long reach through your fingers, through your toes. Take a nice big breath back into your body. And then as you exhale, invite some softness back in, and then slowly, gently, mindfully find to a comfortable seated position. So you might choose to roll to one side. You might choose to rock and roll up if you find that to be an efficient way to get up and up into your seat, but come into a seated position in a way that feels right. Nice. And then as you find that comfortable seated position, take a moment to bring your head, your heart, your hips in line, shoulders soften down, close your eyes down or soften your gaze, and then just let your hands rest comfortably. Let your awareness come back to your feet. Notice your toes. Soften through the tops of your feet. Soften your ankles. And then becoming aware of your sits bones, just root deeper into your sits bones. Reach up through the crown of your head. Inhale and just let your shoulders kind of lift and drift up to your ears. And then as you exhale, float your shoulders down away from your ears. On your next inhale, gather your hands to your heart center, just stacking one hand on top of the other. Inhale and lift your chin up to the sky. Exhale to tuck your chin down to your chest. And then soften that tuck of your chin so that your head is bowed to your heart, but then just tune in and notice. Notice that gentle movement of breath underneath your hands. Take one more moment just to notice. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. Take another nice, gentle inhale. And as you exhale, think about letting your shoulders soften, your jaw soften, your feet soften, and then think about letting go of anything you're holding on to that won't serve you through the rest of your night. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy, happy Wednesday.